What's up, guys? Welcome, welcome. You're watching two of my stream viewers go at it. Oh, sick. Wow. Sick idea. Okay, so perfect. So what we're doing here, one of my viewers is going to be obsing as well. Again, we've chosen two individuals from my stream chat, and they're playing each other, and I'm going to say what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong. The map is Aquilon Waste. The matchup is PVZ. In the bottom right, we have Fauxtow. In the top left, we have ConPhused. Hopefully, they've muted the stream. But they're both going to be watching this when it goes on VOD. So, hello, Fauxtow and ConPhused. I hope you have a wonderful game, even though you already know what happened. But I hope to, help you out a little bit. So, both scouting. I'm okay with that. Like, you should generally always scout, I think, relatively early on. Okay, Photo. Thank you. So, until your masters, I think it's good to scout with your probe. Because, like, I mean, it's just a probe. It's just a worker, and you're trying to find out what's going on, right? It's not like your build's going to be messed up because you don't have builds below masters. Okay, my observer, what is he doing here? I want you to look around. All right, Crux, you're fired. I'm sorry, you're fired. I know it's not your fault. I love you, but I want to watch these drones. Yeah, so not a big damper on your economy going with the probe scout or the worker scout. Everyone should do that at the lower levels. So no hatchery here, which is strange. So at this point, I feel like these guys maybe don't know the standard builds. But that's okay. So generally, the general rule is you always want to try to 14 or 15 hatch against Protoss. I guess it's fine. A 14 pool is fine though. No, that's perfectly fine. 14 pool and then following up with the hatchery. It's just a bit of a safer play. In fact, that's probably the best way to go here. Meanwhile, okay, yeah. Okay, we have a Forge expand. Oh, but this is interesting because ConPhused, he's adding on a gateway too, which makes me think that he's trying to complete his wall really fast. And when you're thinking about why you want to complete your wall, you only want to do that if you feel like there's a lot of lings coming. And right, I think he misjudged the timing of this pool. Unless this was a crazy early pool. Okay, so there's four lings and that's it. I don't know the timing on this. Okay. Gosh, the timings are so weird. Okay, so I disagree. I disagree with all this. The gateway, the cannon, the pylon. Or do I? So what's important here is you have to identify when the pool is going down from your opponent and how many lings you're sending at you. So I guess this is fine. I mean, but again, you're delaying your Nexus so much, and you already put down the Forge, so it's like you're wasting a big segment of the game by, well, first of all, the Forge and Cannon right now do nothing in the long run, right? They're just empty things you build that are there. Like, they're not doing anything right now, literally. They're quite literally, obviously, if they're getting attacked, it's helpful, but don't really need it, really, right? So you're delaying not only your tech, which is your gateway and your core, by doing this, you're also delaying your expansion. So instead, I would either A, try to go for a gateway first in your main base, and then if you scout scary stuff, reacting from there. You know, gateway first. You're still investing a little bit into this early game, like the Forge and the Cannon by getting the gateway first in your main. But it's all about the timing of your Nexus. So would you rather start with a Pylon Forge and Nexus and get the Nexus on 530, or would you rather start a Gate and Core and start your Nexus there? By doing both Gate and Forge, it's not efficient. So I would pick one of those. Then either your expansion comes much quicker, or your tech comes much faster, rather than having this empty stuff that's not doing anything. All right, not a huge deal though. So far, like, it seems really solid. All your main ideas are good. All your main ideas are good as far as, okay, let's try to get saturated on our main base. Let's get our gases saturated. You're not really floating in the minerals, which is good. You're not getting supply blocks, though. Other than that, it's great. Adding that +1, taking the good out of a not-so-good situation. So this is a very technical thing in the beginning of the game that not a lot of people know, so you're doing great so far. Meanwhile, what's the Zerg player up to? Okay, only 11 drones in his main and 14 drones. So that's the first thing I look at, because he needs, like, ideally, as a Zerg, right away you want to get to 16 drones on each mineral line, and then maybe a gas, right? That's what you want to do right away. So the fact that he has a Roach Warren out, he has a Spine Crawler, he's making all these extra resources, and he scanned up his opponent's ramp, knowing that his opponent invested into the Cannon Forge before the Nexus, if he had his Overlord here. I mean, that's the kind of thing you look for, right? You're like, all right, what's his gateway timing? What's his Nexus timing? What do I have to invest in? And I think this is relatively okay because like if you go for 16 drones in each really fast, you're kind of playing really greedy. Fauxtow is playing really in between, like not too greedy. You're getting the roach run out, getting speed, that's fine. Now adding on his gases, so Fauxtow is actually playing this quite well. But he doesn't have a third base, and he's investing into these 4 gases. And he's getting a lair. Okay, let's see what he does with that. Okay, so what do I think about this? So, I mean, as a Zerg, you can kind of identify, okay, my opponent's a Forge, my opponent's Nexus is like, you can kind of identify this stuff at the front, that's what to look for. The Gateway's later, you know, the Cybercore's later, you know, Warp Gate technology is later. So you can afford to be a little bit greedier. Like the Spine Crawler, I don't know if it's necessary, kind of a thing. Yeah. I mean, it's fine, it's a safety thing, but these are little things to help you get better. Okay, there's the third. Getting really fast layer. That fast layer could have been Evo Chambers, right? It could have been Evo Chambers for upgrades. Could have been a faster third. So he's sacrificing a bit going for this fast layer, getting all this gas. All this gas mining can be more minerals on another mineral line, right? So he's really investing a lot into this. And so it smells like Muta right now. It smells like Muta. That's exactly what it smells like. So he is making some roaches. I guess that's fine. One device of these roaches is... Okay, so now he's making 3 more roaches. So now I'm really confused. I'm generally okay with like 3 or 4 roaches. Oh yeah, this is really strange. Okay, 3 or 4 roaches is fine, and then you transition right away. So here, he got his layer. This fast, he's not using it, right? He's got all this gas he's banking up that he's not using. So this is actually a pretty big mistake. So if you're going for fast layer, and you're going for all these gases, you have to invest in the tech, something tech heavy, because right now, he's going to start floating a lot of gas. Also, his Evo Chambers are a little bit later, so you don't need layer until you use 2-2. Like, what does he use his layer tech for? Does anyone have an answer? What does he use his layer tech for? Just the Overseer and then a roach speed just now. So, not that optimal. If you're going for this kind of, I kind of want to pause, but it's okay. If you're going for this kind of big roach play, you want to get your third out first. You want to get your minerals. Like, that's really important. Start your Evo Chambers. You don't need to go to layer that fast. I mean, you want to have an idea. Okay, what about roach speed? Roach speed is 110. Plus 2 is, I don't know how long it is. It's a little bit longer than that. So the point is, you're going to be, if you want to do a 2-2 roach speed timing, you know, you want to make sure your layer is done when 1-1 is done. And then start 2, and then you start, you know, roach speed, right? But this is kind of all linny, right? He's getting a lot of roaches. He's cutting a lot of drones by doing this. So, I don't know. Just little things. Like, ideally, again, you want to get as much drones as possible as Zerg. So ideally, you'd have like 70 drones right now, but you're making a lot of roaches. So if he comes up with a composition that has an immortal in it, is really cost efficient, a lot of sentries, and he attacks you, and he is able to isolate your roaches, you can literally build nothing that deals with that. Meanwhile, his economy stays strong because he's on 2 base civilization. So, anyway, what is the Protoss up to? Okay, so this is a very interesting composition as far as a lot of stalkers. Gosh, I'm not able to eat that much by doing this, am I? Okay, so you have a lot of stalkers in your composition, which means you want to attack. And if you're getting this many stalkers, you should have blink, which I don't think you do. So whenever you invest in this many stalkers, you're doing, at this point in the game, you're doing a timing push. Otherwise, you'd rather have tech, you'd rather have sentries. It's a lot of gas that you're not using on other stuff. So by getting all these stalkers, you want to have 2 forges with it. It's why like a little push off a 1-1 or 2-2 with blink. That's just what you want to do. No other reason to have this many stalkers right now. But I mean, I guess you could kind of be faking. Excuse me, that you're faking a lot of aggression and then taking the Nexus. But then you're leaving yourself receptive to timing attacks, right? So let's say your opponent makes lots of Hydras. If your opponent makes lots of Hydras and just pushes, and first of all, roaches can be really cost efficient on creep with speed, and you don't have blink. Look at how cost efficient the Zerg is being. But anyway, and now as a Protoss, you're thinking, okay, what can deal with this? Likely Colossi or Storm or really good forces. Not Stalkers, right? So you're spending all this money on Stalkers, and they just don't work against this. So, and by building all these Stalkers, you're delaying that other stuff. So you don't have a Robo Bay. No Robo Bay here, which is Colossus, which is what you would really want to deal with this Roach Hydra stuff. A lot of sentries that stay alive throughout the game, so you have force fields available. Immortals are good, but you only have 1. And you don't really have the ability to make all that stuff. So a better way to do this would be, like, because he was, first of all, you have to identify how much he's investing into those roaches, right? And he had 1 billion at your front door. Like an observer to see that, hallucinated Phoenix. That if you see that many units at whatever time that was, what was that, 7 minutes, 8 minutes, then you can identify, okay, he doesn't have a lot of drones. He's on 2-base economy. With that many roaches, that means if I stay alive with my 2-base economy and really focus on that and maybe take a third, play really defensively, as the game goes along, I'm going to be in a better shape because I'm going to have more workers than him. And I'm going to have more cost-efficient units because my opponent is making roaches, which, when you invest in them, that's only good for a certain amount of time. You want to eventually invest in other stuff, so it's not really a late-game play, right? Staying on 2 bases is not really a late-game play. Building a lot of units is not really a late-game play. So as a Protoss player, you have to identify the fact that your opponent isn't investing in a late game, is investing in the early game, and realize, okay, there's a time window where if I stay safe, I'm going to try and invest as much in the late game as possible. As much into the late game as possible, so... and then push later, realizing that that's when he's going to be weak because he's investing a lot into his early game right now. So, cool. That was fun. I didn't get to eat my pizza, but guys, that's going to do it for game 1. Basically what I'm doing is inviting viewers from my stream to play, and then I'll analyze it and have fun with it, and hopefully they learn a little bit. Of course, they're going to mute their stream when they play, and they go and watch the VOD. So to Fauxtow and ConPhused, I hope that was helpful. I hope it was enjoyable. Yeah, that's the end of this video, because I'm VODing it on YouTube. Sick.